What's good, everybody? It's your boy, Big Baby Baby. What's poppin', everybody? It's Big Baby Jonathan here. Welcome to the latest edition of the Big Baby Jonathan Sports Podcast. I got my boy Aaron. Aaron, thanks again for coming on, like you always
Of
do, man. Thank you
course,
so
of
much.
course, of course, man. Happy to be here. Happy to talk Lakers basketball. Let's go.
Yeah, man. Today, this is the pregame show. Lakers
Yeah.
versus Phoenix Suns. Anthony Davis, LeBron James make their preseason debut. Frank Vogel just announced the starting lineup for tonight's game. It's Marc Gasol at center, Anthony Davis at power forward. Ooh, it's gonna be an interesting one. Kyle Kuzma at small forward, shooting guard LeBron, and Dennis Schroeder at point guard. So, Aaron, what do you think about that starting lineup? How do you think that's going to affect tonight?
I think you know what, honestly, for the way that we've been playing so far
Mm-hmm.
throughout the for the preseason games, I think it's just about plugging in the pieces here. It's not about LeBron having to be the ball handler. Like he could play, you're playing off the ball. You don't have to worry as much. Just find the rhythm, and this is where you work out the nicks and the crannies of
Mm-hmm.
getting used to making those passes, the backdoor cutters, the lobs. If there's any communication that needs to be done, these are the kind of games. And it's one of those that I'm not looking for LeBron or AD to be aggressive. Just get your feet under you, get your legs there, and just go out there. Maybe average, maybe get 10 points in the game, maybe 15 points, and chill the rest of the way.
Yeah, most definitely, man.
Yeah,
But I feel like that starting lineup is telling me that we're gonna go big this season.
yeah.
If Frank Vogel decides to go, that would be big. Marc Gasol could play at defense. Anthony Davis too. Kuzma starting is an interesting one for me, but hopefully Kuzma does play good when he starts LeBron, because I know when he usually starts LeBron, he kind of is off his rhythm. But I want to see how Schroeder and LeBron play with each other. But Frank Vogel did say LeBron and AD are only playing in the first half, so that's going to be interesting to see at least. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not worried. I mean, it's play the first half, see how you feel. I mean, obviously, I
Mm-hmm.
think there's going to be some fatigue, which is normal. I expect them to all be, I expect them to be sore and maybe play and then start slowly ramping up the minutes for the next game.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not really looking for to be aggressive. It's just go out there, play your game. We have a huge lineup. This is how we plug in the pieces with having Gasol starting,
Mm-hmm.
a big piece, big passer. We saw what he can do in the last two games against the Clippers, and honestly, just look forward to more passing from him. It could be essentially we were used to Lakers basketball going in the paint, coming into the paint and kicking it back out. So, this could be a little bit of a rebirth of the old school ball, and
Mm-hmm.
it's just going to continue throughout the year.
Yeah, most definitely, man. I'm excited for Marc Gasol to get opportunity because when AD is in the post, they're going to double team him, and Marc Gasol can step out, shoot that mid range, even that 3 point. He shot really good with Toronto, last season, and he brings that passing ability. Marc
Yeah.
Gasol, just like his brother, would be throwing those no look passes. And when you double team Marc Gasol, you're going to see Kuzma cut, Schroeder. You're going to see a lot of passes from Marc Gasol, like crazy, like no look passes. I'm excited to see that. And also, I'm excited to see THT, man. Very
Yeah.
exciting. So give us your thoughts about him, and do you think he should start over Alex Caruso this season for the minutes wise?
For minutes wise, well, what I think of him. Obviously, the kid is unbelievable, and kind of piggyback off of what LeBron has said
Mm-hmm.
is, the guy can play, he could shoot. He's just starting. He just turned 20 years old. The man is unbelievable. He
Mm-hmm.
has unbelievable talent. This is one of those pieces where if I'm looking at the Lakers franchise right now, this is a guy you hold on to. This could be a miniaturized Kobe and Jordan and a bit of LeBron and
Mm-hmm.
AD's hustle all put together in one person. So, this is a guy that I think is definitely going to get minutes. We'll have to see, I'll have to see how it plays out with Caruso because obviously we saw what Caruso did in the bubble. We saw how
Mm-hmm.
great he was last season. Is he going to be the same aggressive guy? Is THT going to have more aggressiveness in him than Caruso did? How are they feeling? Whether they want to have Caruso be the main bench guy for one night and then have him not play on the back to
Mm-hmm.
back and have THT play in his spot, there's an opportunity you have there. So they have more plugins that they could do this year. I mean, when you have 11 deep, you could do a lot of things and not have to worry about the back to back games. And even in the preseason, he could, THT could play tonight, and then if Caruso's feeling better and wants to play the last two games, great. But it's not. I'm not worried. I'm not worried too much about him, and I look forward to some good basketball from those guys.
Yeah, me too, man. I'm looking forward to some great basketball. Anybody on Instagram or Facebook, YouTube, Periscope, and Twitch that want to come join the Big Baby Jonathan Sports Podcast and have questions for us, put them in the comments right here, and we're going to answer them as best we could, me and Aaron. So put them in the comments on Facebook and Instagram right here. What up, Clipper Darrell? What's going on, man? Thanks for coming on, man. I knew you were always a Laker fan. Yeah, man. I
Oh
knew
my
you
God.
was. Hey, Clipper Darrell, man. Your Instagram is still Laker Darrell, so you're a Laker fan. But anyway, man, I'm excited. THT, man, really excited. Love his energy, man. And I was watching his game a couple days ago, and I was just scouting his game. He kind of reminds me of a Brandon Roy from Portland Trailblazers a couple years ago. Brandon Roy, just his ability, THT, pulling up for that mid range, playing that defense, no look passes. I'm very excited for Talent Tucker's talent to show. You know what I mean? I'm really excited. But if I was the Lakers, you might just to see. Maybe maybe in the second half, I know LeBron's not going to play, but maybe throwing Tucker, start, and maybe, I know Caruso's not playing, but maybe you should start Tucker the second half, see what that goes, and also, too, let Horton Tucker start next game with LeBron, with AD, just to see how it fits, He's very talented, and my boy Dan, the Laker fan, was telling me when we drafted him, this guy's going to be special, and I'm going to keep it real like I always do on my show. I thought he was going to be in the G League and now with the Lakers, but Lakers kept him. Now he's doing great things, man. So overall, what do you expect from THT in tonight's game?
I expect him to just be him. Don't. The biggest. As it's not. Thank God he's already played with LeBron and AD, where it's not a rookie playing his first time with two of the best veterans to ever play this game. And I just think honestly, if he goes out there, plays his game, don't worry about being so aggressive. Be the pit bull on the defense. Go for those steals if they're clear. Go for those dunks to the basket if they're clear. Don't force things that you're trying to impress people on, because everybody knows what you can do. Don't be different. Don't be somebody that we know you're trying to be that you're not yet.
Yeah, 100%, man. And shout out to everybody on Instagram. Shout out to my girlfriend on Instagram. And I have a fan question from A Show 213 wants to know who's going to be the starting point guard for the Los Angeles Lakers December 22nd.
Probably Schroeder. I'd say Schroeder. I'm thinking Schroeder. We saw what he did with OKC. He's just a fantastic shooter. He knows how to, with having Marc Gasol there, it's not so much of having to worry about Schroeder carrying the basketball the entire time. There's a lot of times I feel like this year that you're going to see Gasol, holding on to the ball, looking for those backdoor cutters, looking for people that are hanging out in the 3-point line and looking for the double teams to come. And I feel like it'll be Schroeder and Gasol. I think it's going to be kind of like a joint point guard. Because Gasol's not so much of a scorer as he once was. He could score, but I feel like him and Schroeder are going to be kind of like the tag team. And when they need, some more aggressiveness, it'll be LeBron's turn, maybe a little bit touch the ball. But I feel like Schroeder's going to have it majority of the time.
Yeah, most definitely, man. Shooters. But more likely for me, it's going to probably be LeBron James playing point guard. We're probably going to have Wesley Matthews play shooting guard, small forward, KCP, and then Schroeder's going to come off the bench,
It should be, honestly, that's not a bad lineup either. And I think it's going to honestly take maybe a few games, maybe the first 2 games, maybe first 3 games to figure exactly out the lineup. Because, the great thing about our team is that a lot of these guys all should, there's a lot, we can have a debate here of how many people should be starting, who should be starting. Should Montrezl Harrell be starting over Gasol? Should Gasol be starting over him? And Schroeder, should he be in there, or should it be, who should it be? But in the meantime, I would say right now Schroeder should start. See how that chemistry works. See how he's coming around with it. We know he wants to be a start. He wants to be a starter. He wants to be his aggressive self. That he was on OKC, or a little bit of OKC. And, it'll be very interesting to see how the first 2 games come about.
Yeah, most definitely, man. I'm really excited for what's to come. And also the game tonight versus Phoenix, man. It's going to be an interesting game. Chris Paul, DeAndre Ayton, and Devin Booker. It's going to be a tough battle, and everybody's talking about in the outlets that Phoenix could be a potential scare for the Lakers. I don't see that. Chris Paul and the Suns are going to compete at the highest level, probably be 6th, 7th, 8th seed at best, losing the first round. I feel like that Chris Paul trade for them is going to work to the sense that Chris Paul is great at being the facilitator, scoring, that veteran leadership. So I expect Phoenix to be really good this season. What about you? How do you feel like Phoenix is going to do this season?
Dude, Phoenix
Mm-hmm.
looks for reals. Like I don't know about finishing so low in the standings.
Mm-hmm.
I honestly feel like they could be a little bit better than the Clippers at times. The Clippers, yes, they
Mm-hmm.
have PG, they have Kawhi. We obviously don't need to, relieve of what they did in the bubble. That was the past season. But I feel like honestly, this team could be in the fourth spot, somewhere around the fourth in the West.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, don't be surprised. This team that they have with Chris Paul, Booker, those guys that they have right there could be as good as that Nash team was in 2010.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that team was good and
Mm-hmm.
everybody counted them out. Yes, it was a bit different back then, but they have those pieces. They have the talent again. And with, Phoenix, their problem has been, they get such a great point guard as we know in Dragic. They had
Mm-hmm.
him, and what he could have been there if he was still there, and Phoenix didn't let him go. That's been their history. So it's going to be very interesting to see how they manage the season with him. How many minutes does Chris Paul play? How does the matchups look? I think you're going to get a good taste of what to expect tonight. With
Yeah,
both
man.
of the guys playing.
Yeah, man. Looking forward to it. It's going to be a competitive battle and stuff. I'm excited. It's preseason number 3. LeBron's playing, and we got a question about Kuzma from DCG. If you had to choose between extending Kuzma or THT at the end of this year, who are you extending? And this question's for you, Aaron.
Um, Well, I'd have to. I think is THT. I don't think if he. I don't think he's a free agent yet. But he might. Honestly, if he has an opt-in year where he could take the opt-in and have at least another year or two, I definitely say take the THT opt-in for another 2 years if it
Mm-hmm.
is. I forgot how long the rookie contracts are. I think they're a few
Mm-hmm.
years. But honestly, with Kuzma, I feel like decertified. I feel like it's going to be how well he plays this year is going to determine how well you want. As they say, is you want the contract. Then if you want the contract and you want the extra money, then you got to play like you want the money. Because if you're not playing as great as you did, like last year, we didn't see Kuzma, efficient enough. He had some glimpses of flashes in the playoffs,
Mm-hmm.
but he wasn't that guy that we've seen before. Like in LeBron's first year, we saw Kuzma be a little bit more aggressive, and he kind of went away from that, kind of took a step back. So if Kuzma can have a great year and have a really good season and be the bench guy that he can be, then I have a feeling they'll both get it. Because I mean the Lakers do have money. They get money. They get money. It's not something that they have to worry about. They could always do a sign and trade if that. But we'll see how things look at the trade deadline too, because that's already your first. Where are you gonna be? Where are you? How's the team gonna be? How has Kuzma been so far to start the season? And if he's not hitting those expectations, then you possibly might hear him on the trading block.
Yeah, 100%, man. I agree
So
with you 100%, man. It's going to be tough, but I would extend THT and then see how Kuzma does throughout the season. Because my personal opinion, I feel like if Kuzma continues to goes what he goes through, how last season he struggled really bad and then
yeah,
kind of got back his rhythm. If he has one of those this season where he's struggling, man, I won't be surprised if the Lakers get on the phone. Kuzma's up for sale. Let's run it. And like you said, trade deadline is going to be interesting, but I don't feel like Lakers going to make that much trades this season. We gotta get into it before we get up and out of here, man. What do you think? What do you think about Giannis re-signing with Milwaukee? Before you go, I'm gonna say
yeah,
he should have waited. I feel like he should have waited because there's a report out there, there's rumors out there that he's not recruiting players to Milwaukee. So I feel like
yeah,
he wants to try to win in Milwaukee by himself. That's okay at times, but in the NBA you need stars to win. I know they got Drew Holiday, I know they got um, Chris Middleton, Brooke Lopez, but they need to go get like a Bradley Beal, go trade for a James Harden. That's what I would do if I was Milwaukee. But Milwaukee got Giannis back. It's going to be interesting what they do from 5 years now and then this season. So, what are your thoughts about Giannis re-signing with Milwaukee?
I'm kind of in your boat too, where I
Mm-hmm.
was kind of surprised that he took it because that's where people were also saying is why doesn't AD just take a 2-year deal and then sign for the max the
Mm-hmm.
following year, the following 2 years after, or sign
Mm-hmm.
for I think it's signed for one more year, take a 1-year deal worth a ton of money and sign for a huge super max. And it's like you have to ask yourself, okay, well, Giannis, I think, was watching a little bit what AD was doing, and I think they were kind of both watching each other. And I think when AD made his move with Rich Paul, I think that's when Giannis decided, you know what? What's the point of waiting for a supermax? Let's just sign where I'm happy with, and what franchise I want to grow with, because we weren't even sure if he was going to stay. Like after the bubble ended, and the Milwaukee was eliminated,
Mm-hmm.
everybody, all questions were relating to what is he going to do? What is his goal? So it'll be very interesting to see how he handles the rest of the season. They've lost a lot of pieces,
Mm-hmm.
so it'll be very interesting to see exactly how things go with him. So
Yeah, man, me too. And Milwaukee's gonna. Here's what about Milwaukee's team. They can be beat easily. All you have to do is just play off of Giannis, double team him, and take away from the others.
yeah,
So it's gonna be interesting to see what Milwaukee does. It's gonna be interesting what all the teams do in the NBA. But we will be back, Aaron, after tonight's game. So Aaron, thanks again for coming on, man. See you tonight at after the game.
yeah. After the game, see you soon.
Mm-hmm.
Take care, everybody.